Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah. Today we will look at a very key end. We now actually want to explain two details about, let me say, any more about written, but nevertheless, we want to explain just a brief on the syntax. We start with the branch today under the view controller. But we don't start with the first one way in the account, but I left them because various forms in there we all share the same thing, not just change of name. So having the knowledge on one will help you forget the remaining. So I look at more comprehensive when at the branch table. You get various partial views. How many partial views? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All you want to underscore na partial views. All you want to underscore na few views them. We don't need partial view. But when they look at the parent view, we house all the other views the way we call index view. The index view gets a very important thing where we get code rule they can make use of, what we call I enumerable. Really, I don't just explain it in Creole, but that's something we really get some good knowledge where our love all share together before we can discuss all the codes within here. Now that make a pause and make small note about them, because all this while we deal with the model, we invoke the model itself and the type of among the model, meaning the database. Then we now use the database. We use a library where we call connection.IEnumerable. Also the it will help you to manipulate the data and make it accessible to people in the form of various methods where you will only have the opportunity for read the data in order to modify the data. There's so many things and are so beautiful. Why in the full index we decide for use IEnumerable. In that note, I will want to follow go there quickly, love we see with presentation and walk around that. So in this we say IEnumerable. I will read it in English and explain them quickly. IEnumerable is an interface in the .NET framework that represents a forward-only cursor. What do we mean by forward-only cursor? What do we mean by forward-only cursor? Now, a situation we are in, just like if I read book, I don't done page 1, I go page 2, page 3. I know they can start again page 1 until I end the last page. Now, in the word forward-only cursor meaning it navigates a data set. The cursor, but I make a note on it. It navigates through a data set. What do you mean by a data set? A data set can be a table which you data there. So you want access each of the elements and then I make now for each loop we deal with, because the for each loop it accesses the elements rather than accessing the index of the element. What do I mean by element and index of the element? We have the element's name. Then we have first name as an element, middle name as another element, last name as another element. But if you watch the first index of first name na index 1, middle name na index 2, last name na index 3. The for loop in the access 1, 2, 3. You know, say 1 mean waiting, first name. So you know they can't take first name as an element, rather they take 1 na index. The for each now, you say no, I don't need the numeric, I don't need the number. I need the element itself. Count first name for me. Now in the element what they talk about. So in this context, the IEnumerable they access the element itself, work around the element, make them visible to users. That's the beauty about IEnumerable. So it continues. Say it defines a method called the getEnumerator that returns an IEnumerable object. We will later discuss about getEnumerator, which can be used to iterate for let you go over something over and over a collection of data in a read-only manner, you don't see. If they access the data, but you know they will modify the data for security reason. For example, when somebody access the data, if they able to modify them, able to change them, able to do what you want for the data. No, IEnumerable will prevent all those things. So in this note, we say IEnumerable is used to work with a collection of data such as a list or array. You don't see, I don't explain everything about that, in a way that allows you to sequentially access each element in the collection. Why would they use array? Array, we can get now a list, or we call them array. We can get first name command, middle name command, last name command. In that collection, then we call array. Now, in that, you want for access only middle name, where you know they will make no changes on them, you can access that middle name. You don't see. I make key points them within IEnumerable. Why IEnumerable? Very, very important. We talk about enumeration. We say IEnumerable is used for enumerating, meaning iterating through. You don't see, for going over a particular object or element through. You don't see, the elements in a collection one at a time. You don't, good. You don't see. It use the for each loop, and also it gets the read only. We I will explain further. We not able to modify neither change any data. It also gets what we call the define execution. What does this mean? It make use of what we call the language integrated query, LeQueen query, and all the operations on enumerable collection. What it actually this they talk about? IEnumerable, they tell the program, say, you don't need for worry. Just like the callback and the postback method. We get for explain what in the callback method mean, what in postback method mean. One of the great differences between web forms and ASP.NET and .core application, the beauty about .NET MVC and core, the callback and the postback. The web forms thing for ASP.NET web forms, in the use by default they use the postback method, meaning if I do anything, for example, I'll write my name in the text box. I'll not the command of that text box there, but the whole page load, and one is not good for big applications. It's time consuming. Then also you get so many fallback issues and where they lead you to. So as a result, you need for use a way how for customizer only if you want to use web forms. But that of the MVC and the core is so beautiful that in default mechanism for client server interaction. What do you mean by client server interaction? The web browser and the back end the interaction. You don't see. If I the only one for use a particular combo box in function, you don't need for load the whole page. Now just that particular function where I want for utilize, you will get a control on. Waymaker is so robust, so fine, and really good. Now a similar technology would try to explain in this different execution. The language integrated query compatibility as well for IEnumerable is also good. It will help you for play around your database. Because the essence for LeQueen for you play around your database so that you will access your data set. Your data in your database. You will filter, you will do so many things within the collection. You will read the remaining actually, that will not consume too much time. Giving you a footnote on waiting forward good. This one I call about forward only cursor. What do you mean by cursor in this end? Now I explain now. I say in the context of data access, a cursor is like a pointer or a iterator that helps to navigate through a data set. Meaning it will navigate through a data set without thinking on waiting for click. No, you don't see. So you go read further now, yeah. Let not take too much time because we won't forget to record and make detailed explanation and create a summary to that end. So we come now directly to record. Good. For can explain them. Relax and watch the next video. So we can explain now. If we use I enumerable in this context, you know why we need for user, and we can see with various configuration. Once again, as a tata, don't forget to subscribe. Really, the viewers, the moku in the channel, or the amount of subscription, they very small. Do you wanna subscribe and also share to other people? Once again, as a tata.